Wait for you, wait for me. Click and scroll, I can't let you go. They say I'm addicted to you. Click and scroll, I can't let you go. They say I'm addicted to you.
What's good, guys? Today I have a review of the DJI RSC2. Yeah, it's a pretty complicated name, but a very nice gimbal. So let's go. My name is Oleg Nikitin and you're watching No Limit Zone, and you're welcome to my tech kitchen. So this is a little smaller model of the new DJI series of gimbals. I have a separate review for the DJI RS2 with all of its Pro kit, and today we have a Pro kit for the RSC2. Yeah, I did use this gimbal for a while and I have a pretty nice and complete opinion about it, so here it is. And today I'm gonna be comparing the RC2 to the Ronin-S, the original one. Such a big gimbal, guys. This one is much smaller and lighter. Let me show you. So guys, this is the Sony A7C, and as you can see I have my focusing gear right here and focus motor right here, and I can zoom in like so and zoom out like so. So I have all the controls right here at my pointer, or how do you say this, index finger, and I can use it like so, and it will autofocus automatically for me. Pretty good at autofocus of the Sony A7C. I will have a separate review, so stay tuned, guys. So guys, now let's open up this box. It's a pretty heavy duty case. I like it. Here we have a separate zipper pouch right here. Also, when you unzip this upper part, you can see that it's full of little pockets. Here we have our Ronin system. I had a separate test about it, so I'll show you in a minute. Pretty nice system. It sends the signal to your smartphone. Also here we have a separate pouch for your extra mounting plate. There are a system of two mounting plates. This is the Swiss Arc, if I'm not mistaken, and the regular Manfrotto. So you can basically mount both and interchange between your tripods. That's a nice addition. One is the standard and the second one is for your follow focusing motor, and it's geared a little bit in a different way. Also here we have a lot of cables, the HDMI cables, Type-C cables for different cameras, remote control cables, some pouches for your follow focus system, for your phone holder system. Very nice made. They have some rubbers in here, so rubber strings in there, so it's a pretty nice package. And in the main compartment, we have here the place for the Ronin itself, which is nice because it's folding. I will show you in a minute how it folds. And also we have here one more special pocket for all of your cables, all of your mounting plates, whatever. So it's a pretty nice case, which comes only in a Pro Combo Kit. Without a Pro Combo Kit, it won't have any case. So you might need to buy a Pro Combo Kit if you need the Ronin system, the follow focusing motor, and the case itself. It's a pretty good deal, guys. So guys, I have my app open right here and I have changed the settings because out of the box I didn't like the smoothness settings of this gimbal. It was a little bit too fast for me, and I wanted this one to be a little bit smoother. So here is our profile, and here you can see that we have here everything set to 15 and the deadband is set to 0. It's in Russian, but you get it. The deadband 0, everything else, the pan, tilt and the roll 15. It works pretty nicely with the wide-angle lenses, a little bit tougher with telephoto lenses. So for telephoto lenses you can set it to around 10 or even 8 points at your pan, tilt and roll axis. But all in all, if you set it to low out of the box, it's okay. But to me, it's a little too fast. So I like it smoother, so I set it like so. So guys, my impressions. Out of the box, it works pretty nicely. It has very nice tactile feel to it. It's very comfortable in the hand. As you can see, it's pretty smooth after the settings being changed. Also, the knobs, the locking mechanisms, everything is, premium quality. Also, you have here the joystick, you have your menu knob. It's pretty straightforward and simple to use. You have your back button, your M button. The second mode for me is the FPV mode, when it follows all of my movements right here. And the third one is the infinity roll. So you can do it like so, and go all the way like this. Let's go back to the mode 1. So my impressions are very nice, especially after this beast, because it's much lighter, much easier to use. You have your screen on here, you can see the battery level, you can see the mode you're in, you can see the speed of this mode, and everything is just more simple and more kind of, intuitive to use than with the Ronin-S, the original model. Now let's compare a little bit the original Ronin-S and the RSC2. The RSC2 is a little lighter and, obviously it's smaller, but in terms of weight capacity, it has less potential, because I was using my Ronin-S together with the Sony a7S III, the Sigma 24 f1.4 for Sony mount, which is a heavy lens around 650 grams. I have a review here, you can check this out. And I was using my Atomos Ninja 5 on top of this construction, and it was handling this pretty okay. So I was able to shoot from the Steadicam, from the gimbal, then I detached the whole construction. I can shoot with my hands, with a monopod, whatever, then throw it back on the gimbal, so it's just working fine. On this gimbal, on the RSC2, it's not possible. When I attach to my Sony a7S III on top to the Caltrue, the Atomos Ninja 5, it's just not working. When I tilt down or upwards, it's just falling down. The motors are not okay with this much weight. So you have to shoot without a monitor or use the dual handles like so, or this part right here to attach your monitor. And by the way, the dual handles from the original Ronin-S are okay with this gimbal, they fit perfectly. So I'll leave a link down in the description below for the dual handles and for the cold shoe mount for the handle, so you can use your monitor right here on the handles, have two handles for better and smoother shots, and also you can connect it to your camera and see the picture better. So I prefer using dual handles when I have a lot of Steadicam work. But for the convenience, I prefer to put my monitor onto the camera and onto the gimbal. So I'm thinking about buying this one, but only this issue is kind of stopping me from buying this gimbal instead of this one. I'm just so tired of carrying around this much weight. It's just as heavy alone without a camera as this one with the Sony a7C and the focusing motor and the phone holder. So it's just a heavier, beefier thing. And now about the connectivity with the camera. You can connect your Sony a7S III via the simple USB Type-C to multi-interface connector to your multi-port on the Sony a7S III. But in this case, you will have only the ability to stop and start recording from the handle of your Ronin RSC2, and also you'll be able to control your clear image zoom from this wheel in front of your gimbal. And this is it. But if you connect it with the USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable and you go to, let me read this aloud, you go to network setting, then transfer remote, then you set control with smartphone off, then PC remote on, then PC remote method USB, and you set your camera to manual focus, and you'll be able to use this wheel as the focusing for your autofocus lenses. But you need to set this as a setting right here in the gimbal. So you go functions of the front wheel, you have this focus motor, which is this one, then focus and zoom, this will be the one you need. Also you can control your ISO, your aperture, shutter, roll, pan and tilt axis. So if you don't know how to set your camera properly in all of those settings, you won't be able to use it as you want to. So here's the tip for you guys. You can actually use it in much broader way than it's used to be with the simple multi-cable. I have turned off the gimbal and I'll show you some locking mechanisms. There are 3 locking mechanisms for all the axes and they are very nice, pretty clicky as you can hear. And also it allows you to balance your gimbal properly, to balance only this axis, then go to the next axis and so on. Also the knobs themselves are very nice, much better than on the original Ronin-S. I like those constructions better, and overall it feels more solid and more premium, at least to me, compared to the Ronin-S original. In terms of weight, this one weighs 1,300 grams compared to 1,800 grams with the original Ronin-S, which is half a kilo difference. It's a pretty big difference. And when you fold this construction, yeah, by the way, it folds, and you can actually use it in this mode to get your, tabletop shots or under slung mode or whatever. and has enough room for the for the cable to not be jammed inside of this construction. So it's a pretty nice construction. So when it's folded, it takes the same amount of space as this only part with the motors of the original Ronin-S. The overall build quality is also on par. As you can see, everything is very nicely built, everything is smooth, everything is pretty stiff, very nice small legs. They are made out of plastic, but it's still a very good construction. The only downside is that it has only the standard thread. So there are only two reasons why I'm not still replacing my original Ronin-S. The thread in the bottom, so I can use it with my monopod as a crane, and the second is that I cannot use my Atomos Ninja 5 on top of the camera with this gimbal. The motors are just not strong enough. If this gimbal could do those things, I would definitely switch to it. And by the way, this gimbal itself without the Pro Combo Kit is still $50 less than the original Ronin-S on B&H. So it's a pretty substantial difference for a much newer and more technologically advanced gimbal from DJI. And now about the menu system. It's a pretty straightforward. You simply hit the dial, you press it, and you can choose the front dial options. Right now it's for the follow focusing system. You can choose your advanced settings. You can choose the mode, the pan follow mode, the lock mode, and all that stuff. Then you can auto tune this gimbal. You can set the joystick speed, and again the front dial, which is here. So it's a pretty straightforward, and you actually don't need to use the DJI app a lot. I almost didn't use it throughout the whole testing period of this gimbal, and I really enjoy using this menu, and I don't care that this LED LCD display, this little display, is not touch display. So I'm pretty okay with using the dial. It's pretty clicky, very tactile, so it's a big bonus for this gimbal comparing to the original Ronin-S also. And now guys, let's talk about the Raven Eye system. It's a pretty nice transmitter of video signal to your smartphone or tablet, so you can use it as a reference monitor and give it to your director so he or she can see what you're shooting actually. Also, this allows you to use it together with the gimbal and to have the full control of your camera via the app. The app is pretty straightforward. We have a review of the app in our previous video, so you can set our LUTs, you can see the focus peaking there and all that stuff. Okay guys, now we're testing out the tracking feature. As you can see, it's now tracking me as I move right here. Also, you'll be able to use the tracking function, which is working pretty nicely. I have a separate test right here. The distance is like so. Let's try like this. Okay, it still tracks me. And we move like so, and it still tracks me. Let's try to run around. Try to track me, you silly machine. Well, it still tracks me. Whew, it's very cold outside. Also, I did the distance test, and it works pretty nicely for around 50 meters, maybe even more. Then I turned to the corner of the building and the signal was lost. But for pretty open spaces, or if you set your gimbal to a car or somewhere and you control it with your smartphone, you can turn your smartphone, it will follow your movements, by the way. And it's a great choice, great addition to your kit. Посмотрим, насколько хватит сигнала. Так, вот я вижу себя, как я захожу за дом. Вот, все еще вижу. Вы знаете, дальность отличная. Здесь больше 40 метров. Больше даже, наверное, ближе к 100. И сигнал все еще передается, даже несмотря на то, что я за домом. Давайте попробуем поуправлять камерой. Устройство отключено. Ну вот и все, в принципе. Но это отличный показатель. And this thing separately costs a lot of cash, but if you buy the Pro Combo, it's almost, half the price of the separate buy, and you'll get a lot of more advanced things in the kit. So it's a great value for this kit. And now guys, I'm gonna show you the big test and comparison of this little thing and the original DJI Ronin-S. So I was using two different cameras and holding two different gimbals in both of my hands and trying to sync up my movements as possible. And I switched off all of the IBIS systems in the cameras themselves, no post stabilization, so only the real work of both gimbals. So here it is, and you can definitely see the results by yourself and decide whether it's a better option or a worse option. So enjoy watching. Now I'm going to answer the main questions. Should you buy the regular one or the Pro Combo Kit? And should you buy the RS2, the bigger model, or the RSC2? First things first, do you need to buy a Pro Combo Kit? If you don't have a Steadicam or a gimbal right now, and it's your first gimbal and you're just starting out, maybe it's enough to buy the regular kit without all of this, beautiful stuff in this box. But if you're a little bit advanced videographer or cinematographer and you need to be able to use the Raven-I system, you know how to use it and why you need this. Also, if you need the follow focusing motor and follow focusing system, this will be a great investment because separately those parts, the bag, the cables, the follow focus motor, the Raven-I, separately it costs much more. So it's more of an investment into your future than for right now. And it's not a substantial difference in cash. If you find 500 bucks for this one, you'll definitely find a little bit more for the Pro Combo Kit. And now let's talk about the main difference between this one and the bigger one, the RS2. The review is still there and in the description below you can check this out. So the RS2 is great when you buy the Pro Combo Kit, which is much pricier. It's kind of 30 to 35% more than this Pro Kit, but it has the LiDAR system, and if you have a lot of vintage lenses, old glass without the autofocusing systems, this will provide you with autofocus for your vintage glass, and it's great and it's actually working. So my choice is to kind of get through your tech and understand whether you do need your LiDAR system, whether you do need to put something heavier like Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K to the bigger Ronin RS2, or if you use the smaller cameras like this A7C, you'll be definitely okay with this gimbal. It's very versatile, it's just working fine, the stabilization is on par, and I just enjoy using this gimbal. So guys, that's been it for me. The decision is still up to you. I told you everything I know about this one, my impressions, what's in the kit and all that stuff. So if you like the content here on my channel, please hit the like and subscribe buttons as I say in my videos. Also, you can hit the notifications bell to be able to see more of my videos as they move along, as they go out. Also, I can make some live streaming. If you're interested, you can also hit the bell when I live stream, because now I have the 8M Mini and I can stream from different cameras, by the way. Thanks so much for watching. This was Oleg Nikitin, my tech kitchen and No Limit Zone, and I see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.